I just want younger generations or people who are even older generations to know that hockey shouldn't be an exclusive sport and that we are trying to make it inclusive for everyone and anyone. And just because some fans are online saying a lot of mean stuff, it doesn't mean that they should shy away from joining the hockey community, and that they should know that there's going to be people out there who will be very kind to them and inclusive. I'm Venus Montesinos. I use she, her pronouns. I was born and raised in Denver, Colorado, but I'm currently attending college at Reed College in Portland, Oregon, where I'm a chemistry major. And I grew up watching sports a lot with my dad, and hockey was one of our favorites always. So I remember being a little kid and just sitting in the couch with him, just watching it all day long with him.
That's awesome. What team? What was your team?
The Colorado Avalanche.
Oh yeah. So were you a kid then when they were like winning cups and super good?
Well, I was born in 2001. So
Okay.
the last time they won the cup, I wasn't even born yet.
Oh
But
no. So you missed like the glory days of like Joe Sakic and Forsberg and Patrick Roy.
yeah, I did.
Huh. So you got into hockey. Was it by watching it with your dad? Was there anything else that got you into hockey?
I think it was just also just friends who were playing hockey, especially a lot of my guy friends grew up playing hockey. So sometimes I would end up going to the games and hanging out with them. But yeah, mostly it was just my dad and I because, well, we love watching soccer, and my dad has always liked starting new sports and getting to know about the sport. So just randomly one day we started watching a bunch of hockey.
Cool. What do you love about hockey?
I like the aggressive, like how aggressive they play.
Yeah.
I grew up playing soccer and field hockey,
Okay.
and a lot in female sports we're not allowed to be aggressive. So I really liked how like there was a lot of hitting and also the skills, because I think especially now a lot of like skilled players have shown and have been stars, which I think has been really interesting compared to like the past days where it was a lot of physicality.
Yeah, it seems like it's like shifting a little bit, but it's still physical, but it's more focused on the skill set, which is nice to see because there's so much skill.
Yeah, there is.
How could hockey be better for you?
Yeah. Well, so I'm Hispanic also,
Yeah.
and I'm bisexual. I recently came out.
Well,
And
congratulations on coming out.
thank you. Thanks. I think, they do have like Pride Nights, and they have a Hispanic History Month, and they're all great and stuff. But sometimes I feel like they like once that time is over, they forget all about it, which sometimes makes me feel uncomfortable because it just feels like it's a capitalist way of going about it. Especially
Yeah.
like with what happened with the Black Lives Matter movement last year.
Yeah, almost like it's performative, right? And it's just there
Yes.
for show and but they don't really want to value us as human beings.
Yeah.
So with that said, how could they change it? What could they do better for you? What would be ideal for Venus?
I think what's ideal is speaking with the players a lot also, because I have seen that some players have come out with transphobic comments or like very hated like comments that are inspired by hatred. And I just think like changing the community with the players first would be beneficial.
Mhm.
And also just starting like just a lot of more events with the community, especially because sometimes I feel like once it's the off season, there isn't that much communication between the team and the fans. And I just feel like during the off season, it would be also like a good time for them to, I don't know, to get involved with the community and get to learn more about the community. Especially because I feel like just having one Pride Night isn't very beneficial.
Same.
Yeah. And I just feel like it's important to talk about like local businesses. So in Portland, there's a lot of local businesses, and I've been very fortunate to like speak with them and hang out with them. So I would really like it if Denver could evolve into sort of like growing more into local businesses and talking about, people who are in the LGBTQ plus spectrum or other diversities. But
That makes a lot of sense. I like that. So based off where hockey is today, what keeps you around? What keeps you in hockey?
I think what keeps me in hockey is just the sport right now. And I wish the community would be a better place for me to stay. In soccer, I felt like usually it's between there was like two sides of sports where it's the actual playing of it, and then the other side is like being a fan. And right now I feel like with hockey, I just feel like I'm just watching the sport and not really like a fan yet, because I don't know if I'm really there with the community still.
That makes sense. So if they engaged more, you love the sport, but you need more engagement and more authentic things to make you feel welcome and included. Is that a fair
Yeah, and
assessment?
I think yeah, that's really good. That's good. But I just would wish that it would be like genuine engagement and not just performative, as we talked about.
Yeah. So, and probably seeing more of yourself, right? Like Hispanic folks, more queer, bisexual folks, involved would probably make you feel more comfortable in it.
Yeah, I yeah, I think that would be wonderful, especially with like younger generations growing up. I just want them to feel comfortable with the communities as well, and feel like they can come and watch hockey and feel part of the fan base and not just someone who's watching.
Completely. That makes a lot of sense. So, what gives you hope for queer people in the sport?
Well, I've seen a lot of people on Twitter talking about being queer and like playing sports or being from a different background, and they love watching hockey. And I've been fortunate enough to find people on social media who, who are queer and they watch hockey, and it just makes me feel a lot more comfortable with them. And because I've been getting a lot of messages online about me being bisexual or like me being Hispanic, but thankfully I found a lot of other Colorado Avalanche fans who have been really kind to me and who have been very inviting, and sometimes we watch the game together um, for fun. And I think that's why I'm holding on to it still, because I just have a feeling that hopefully soon we will be able to all feel part of the community and fan base, especially since we have a governor who's gay. And I think our governor, Jared Polis, has opened up a lot of doors for people who are queer. And it, I think that's why I'm still holding on, because I just feel like Colorado's changing a lot more. And I'm just hoping for further change in the community and also in the hockey community.
That makes a lot of sense. And I think community is critical. And fortunately, we're in a time where, we can find some of that online, where we can find people like ourselves. And we're very lucky in that sense to grow up in a time where that takes place. So that's really cool and thoughtful. Is there anything else you want to add?
Um, I think the only thing I would want to add that I just want younger generations or people who are even older generations to know that hockey shouldn't be an exclusive sport, and that we are trying to make it inclusive for everyone and anyone. And just because some fans are online saying a lot of mean stuff, it doesn't mean that they should shy away from joining the hockey community, and that they should know that there's going to be people out there who will be very kind to them and inclusive.
I love that. I think it's a great message. I think it magnifies everything we're trying to do, even with this project, that there's so many of us, and we're here, and we're going to be a part of this, and we're going to continue to grow it. So thank you, Venus, for using your voice. Thank you for sharing who you are and being open to people online and building community. It matters.